Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Toronto Huskies. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Toronto Huskies. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Toronto ball club as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. As you get a peek at a man who entered the league in 2012 as a third-round draft pick, Nick Foles.
And each time I sit down to evaluate Nick Foles, I end up tipping my cap to him because this guy has experienced some highs in the NFL, gone to the Pro Bowl as a starting quarterback, had a year where he had 27 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions, led a team to the playoffs. But he had some lows as well. He's been benched, been a backup along the way. But at the end of it all, Super Bowl 52 MVP will always be etched next to his name.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. On the stop was Aaron Donald. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now a handoff looking right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Brockers in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start. offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Foles. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. There's the stiff arm. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Hey. Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
180.
Foles. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Manning. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They go with a fullback line and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I get the thought process, 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Now let's go. Green 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On first down, it's Gurley. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now let's go.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Shane Ray in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This one from 46 yards out. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. And
no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The 13 yards that time at a first.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Here's Foles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
First opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He can't get him down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And his throw is incomplete. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
Now they try the right side here. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll drop to throw. That's complete to Meredith. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnston. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnston. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Foles. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Foles. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-3. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley. And it's 2nd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he gets it down to the 32. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Texans who's got the lead in the second quarter. The Texans looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. From there, we'll head east all the way to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Steelers trying to start the season right and is looking good so far at home. In the game you're watching, it's the former Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, with the strong first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey, 4 down.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be brought back to the 22. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. That'll go as a loss of 5. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on first down. Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. And they'll go with the ground attack here. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Four down, check. Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. Breaks a tackle. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Hey, hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. But guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That puts a good dent into their first down setback. It's a pickup of 16. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Foles. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
They'll set up a throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throw left side caught by Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Boom, line it.
Back to throw. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey. Set. Boom, line it.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far in this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
to throw here. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll drop the throw. And Blake, the tight end's got it. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Foles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Zach Line with it, the fullback. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They come out here in the eye. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. They'll run with a fullback line, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Zach Line taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Saints add on to their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that will get them one closer. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Goodwin able to hold it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
All right, here we go.
back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on here to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Foles. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But
a moot point there as they were able to connect. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Foles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. This is brought in at the 21. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax, you don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Now let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there at 22. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. False start's going to push them back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
And they'll run it here. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Back to throw here. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Here we go now.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out. And a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's caught. Touchdown. Brandon Cooks scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Zerline good with a PAT as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Manning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. On the give, this is their fullback. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bowl up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it. Boom.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. He's going to get it running right. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Saints, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Toronto, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a home date next